I thank the Speaker. I rise today to offer an amendment to this underlying piece of legislation to ensure that it applies to everything. I don't believe that we should be in the business of exempting certain executive orders. I think they should apply across the board. So my amendment would strike the exceptions to the bill's inflation estimates for executive orders that provide emergency assistance or relief or are related to national security. I don't believe that we should be pulling out of the calculation those executive orders that touch on national security, simply because, frankly, often my colleagues on both sides of the aisle want to be able to use emergency for all manners of sins. And they want to be able to use the Defense Department to hide behind all manners of sins and expenditures. The underlying bill is actually an important piece of legislation, despite what my colleague from Maryland is saying. Why? Because the executive orders being offered by this administration, and frankly by many administrations, do have an actual and significant inflationary impact. We are allowing the executive branch to run amok. We're allowing the executive branch to essentially legislate and make massive policies that have an enormous impact on everyday hardworking American people. That's why this legislation is important. Unlike our colleagues on the other side of the aisle, who like to use the power of government to be able to actually put gasoline on the fire of inflation by spending more money, by engaging government into the business of the American people, we want to be able to look at information about what government is doing to cause the problem in the first place. For example, the president's executive order on vaccine mandates. You don't believe that had a massive inflationary impact to go around this country, forcing people to stick a needle in their arm or lose their job, causing all sorts of constraints in labor supply, making it difficult for people to carry out their jobs? You don't believe that the executive orders on minimum wage, the executive orders on the Keystone Pipeline and other limitations on federal oil and gas leases, the executive orders with respect to WOTUS and NEPA and all sorts of environmental rules and regulations that restrict the ability of the American people to create wealth, create jobs, create opportunity? You don't believe those create inflationary impact? Of course they do. Our job in Congress is to check the executive branch. Our job in Congress is to stand up for the American people and get the government out of their lives. This amendment is designed to make sure that we're going to apply it equally to all manners of the executive orders produced by the president, regardless of party. We believe that's critically important, and with that, I will reserve.